Why, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Anime Club. I'm Nick Knack. With me is the great Lord Warren.
Hi, everybody.
And Seki.
It is I, the great, the wondrous Sekmod, angry Egyptian
That was recent.
goddess.
So this week we watched an anime about a anthropomorphized noodle beating up on the man with the smallest balls in the world. Does that sound about right to you guys?
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound bad.
Yeah.
We watched Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro-san.
Yeah, Ijiranaide Nagatoro-san. If you, when you listen, you don't have to put the san after saying Miss Nagatoro.
Sorry, I know it as either Nagatoro-san. I don't know it as the Japanese name, but I do know the abbreviated Japanese name, Nagatoro-san. But then I know Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. So you just kind of...
So don't toy with me, Miss.
Miss Nagatoro, yes. Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ. So this, it was...
Vorn's.
Yeah, this was Vorn's.
And we are only doing season 1. So
Yes.
season 2 technically is coming out right now.
Yep.
So yeah. I actually, I have never actually fully watched this thing. I've seen clips. And this was mostly because, like, I watched Teasing Master Tanake-san. And, like, then I saw this and, like, ooh, cool. I throw this on my list of things to watch. And I thought this might be a little bit more comedy-oriented. But, yeah.
So what did you think of it?
Approved, but it's never going to be, like, barely.
It's not one of your favorites,
Yeah.
but it was an enjoyable watch.
It was okay.
I definitely enjoyed it. I'm probably sitting right where Vorn's at. Like, this is not on the level of a... what's going on?
Nothing.
This is not on the level of some of the top rom-coms I've ever seen, but it's got its cute moments. It's got its weirder moments, and then it's got an entire episode that just shifts genres for a little bit. So I give it an approved. I enjoyed it well enough.
I was not super psyched that this is what we were watching. I've heard a lot about it from other anti-tubers and people, and it just, like, the trailers, and it just didn't look appealing to me, like, not my type of rom-com. And I was correct, it is not my kind of rom-com. It's not bad, but I didn't particularly enjoy it, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't tell anyone not to watch it, but I also this would never come up in my list of, like, rom-coms to recommend people. So I guess that makes me a meh.
Yeah.
But by all rights, that makes me a meh. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't good for me. I think it leaned really hard into this. I think I didn't appreciate the sheer amount of, like, weirdly out of place humiliation that happened. I think when I watch rom-coms, I'm looking for something a little bit more, like, funny and kind of less sexually charged, but in a weird way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was definitely more sexual.
Like this feels like this is a joke for, like, people who are over the age of 18 to watch, which is fine. You know, watch a show like this for that. But when I watch rom-coms, I like to watch stuff like, you know, Lucky Complex, Wotakoi, fucking, what's the goddamn,
you got
Hana Dango, you know, Hanakimi. There's this one that I really love, and I cannot remember the name of it, but the main character, her name is similar to the girl from The Ring, but it's slightly different. But because of the way she looks and acts, a lot of kids bully her and, like, call her the character from The Ring unintentionally.
Wallflower?
No, different. It's a really sweet love story, and I really like that, but not a Kimi ni Todoke. It's called Kimi ni Todoke.
Whereas anyone who's ever watched our Off the Shelves, where we go through some of the manga rom-coms that Seki recommends, knows I'm not as big a fan of those. So
no, I do prefer my rom-coms a little bit more on the sweet misunderstanding side.
I find that so fucking tedious to watch, though.
Well,
I find the worst arc of this one is the sweet misunderstanding part.
Well, maybe you're just a terrible person. I don't know.
Or I need my story to have story.
I'm fine with either right there, really.
Yeah, it's a meh for me. It just wasn't quite the vibe I'd want when watching a rom-com.
I 100%. I figured it would be a meh for you, but this is just one part of one larger battle between Seki and I. So
Seki versus Nick, round 1, fight. With that being said, so I've pulled up the studio that did this. So it was Telecom Animation Film. Mm-hmm. They're also known as TMS Entertainment in some instances. They've been producing stuff since the 70s. They did Lupin the Third Part 2. It was the first major work they did. They've done some things like Inspector Gadget, Sherlock Hound. Yeah. They actually produced the original season of DuckTales.
Oh, cool.
And they've worked with Warner Brothers Animation on Batman the Animated Series, Animaniacs, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Spider-Man, and a lot of those 90s...
Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yes. Yeah. And a lot of those early 90s to 2000s. So their first big anime that I know is from 2000. They did the original Inuyasha run, 4 years of it. And then they've done some things like Nurse Witch Komogi. They did Sonic X, Ramen Fighter Miki. They helped on 6 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood in association with Studio Bones. They've done a couple other Lupin parts. They did Orange, and they were one of the studios that worked on Tower of God, along with Crunchyroll and Webtoon. They've done Don't Toy with Miss Nagatoro-san. They're doing Lupin Zero. And then upcoming, they've got Rick and Morty the anime, which I am not... I felt like I had to mention it, but I didn't know
it was a thing. I don't feel more fulfilled knowing that it was a thing.
Yeah, we're just not going to think about it. But anyway, so that's who does their animation. So it seems like they have a fairly large directory of things they have done that are animated, but they work in association with a lot of other companies, including a lot of Western companies, to make some of the cartoons that those a little bit older than us would have worked on. They were actually how they actually worked in association with Studio Ghibli and Castle in the Sky too.
I mean, it was good animation here. Like, they did a good job animating Nagatoro's horrific spaghetti limbs.
Yep.
Yeah, they've done a fair amount of stuff, so it's pretty interesting. And then the music is done by Gin from Busted Rose. That person doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so I cannot look them up separately on Wikipedia, and I'm not going to go looking somewhere else. But judging by the fact that it says Gin from Busted Rose, I would presume that's a person from a group. And yeah, so this aired in from April of 2021 to June of 2021, and the current season is airing right now. There are 5 episodes out so far of season 2.
And time by this episode comes out, I think season 2 ends, probably?
There'll be either a few more episodes out or it'll be over. Yeah. So season 2 may or may not have just finished. Fun fact, season 2 is called The Second Attack. So the original, I do want to say the original manga started coming out in 2017 and is ongoing. There's 15 volumes, and it is categorized as shonen, and is coming out in Magazine Pocket, published by Kodansha, even though the genre is rom-com.
To my understanding, there was actually a manga before the manga too, because originally this started as like a hentai artist's G-rated shit, where he just drew Nagatoro bullying someone, and that turned into a full manga.
I do not know. I would have to do some more. So Nanashi first started posting early prototypes of what would become it on Pixiv in between 2011 and 2015. There's 5 total issues during this period. I do not have any information on that webcomic. So that is the technicalities. In terms of the animation, I think it was solid. It was fine.
Yeah,
I didn't find any major issues with it. It also wasn't unique or outstanding, in my opinion, in any way. But I don't expect animes to be unique or outstanding. It is a treat when they are.
I think it had good facial expressions. You kind of have to when you're dealing with.
So did season 2 of Ascendants of the Bookworm once they got more money.
Yeah, we're not talking about that today. But yes, I have the same opinion there. Whereas I don't have that opinion of a lot of the rom-coms we've done on the channel. We haven't done that many. I don't. So that's one thing. Sometimes studios are really good with facial animation. Sometimes they're not. Even if they're really good at like fluid sakuga, like Ufotable, great sakuga, shit facial animations.
Although I do want to say, like the some of the coloring for the ED like scenes right there, like was actually, I think they kept it the same. Was actually quite nice right there because they did actually use a lot of contrasting colors.
Yeah, the opening and soundtrack and ED were fine.
I think we're good there.
I mean, like, I don't have any major comments about the opening soundtrack and ED because honestly, it's not the sort of opening that would make it onto like my favorite openings list, but it's also not a bad opening.
I mean, I definitely remember it.
Yeah. Like it was.
It almost feels like a warning of danger.
I mean, that's apropos for the series.
Yes.
Very apropos for the series.
The red flags are numerous, but the fuck's given or not.
Jesus fucking Christ. This show is just... Oh, God. Anyways. Overall, I think the technical quality of the show is solid. It's not standout to me out of some of the things that have come out recently, but very few things are. I think animation has just... animation and music have just a higher standard now than they did, back when I started watching anime. So while I have a lot of complaints about some of the older shows, the last 4 or 5 years, with the exception of things like X-Arm, which are unusually terrible, or something like 86 that was unusually good.
I actually don't. So outside of like the mech scenes, I don't think 86 was that outstanding animation.
Yeah, but the mech scenes were stunning, and the rest of the animation was great.
Mech scenes kind of have to be stunning. You either go stunning or you go CG models sliding across the screen, which is jarring.
Well, regardless, it's not your opinion; it's mine, and I thought it was good.
Although, the usage of
your opinion is wrong.
You want to not fuck with the audio track?
Sorry. The last episode, 86, actually was very nice in terms of animation, at least like to say. And also that fireworks scene was right there.
Vorn playing the mediator here.
By sneezing.
Hey, best way to interrupt you.
But yeah, I think it was solid. Wasn't my thing, but it was solid. I think it's not that often that we watch something that's... I think because we watch such an eclectic mix of things, sometimes we get like some real duds.
Yeah.
Or like or they're a dud for one person. Like you hate the Get Backers opening. You hate it with a burning passion. I don't. I love it. I love it with a burning passion.
I mean, I hate the opening. The anime, though, I feel like it's just like not my thing.
Oh no, but I'm just talking about the technicalities here.
Yeah.
Not the anime, just the technicalities. Like we don't always, we've gotten a pretty eclectic mix. So I think this was solid in my opinion. But I do give it a meh, meaning this will never ascend its way into top tier.
Nagatoro season 2.
But with that being said, I think we're done. So like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back with part 2.